Hello, my 4K friends. It's Mrs. Wixom back again to teach you about the letter of the week. This week, we are learning about the letter C. And the letter C says k, k, k. I have a little song that helps you remember that sound. C says k, k, k. And it goes like this. You kind of have crab pinchers like this. Or you could use your baby shark pinchers like this. I like to use my whole hand, and the song goes, we are clicking castanets, k, k, k. We are clicking castanets, k, k, k. We are clicking castanets, clicking castanets. We are clicking castanets, k, k, k. And castanets are an instrument that go on your hands and your fingers, and when you click them together, they make a sound like k, 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 like our letter C. Now that you know the sound that our letter of the week says, we are going to practice writing our letter of the week. So you can see right here, I have a picture of our handwriting friend. This is called Big Curve. That's our handwriting friend's name, Big Curve. And there's a little picture of a cat, because cat starts with the letter C. And you have your alphabet book. Let's take a look nice and close. That has your letter of the week, letter C. Whenever we write in our alphabet book, we always write our name. And when you write your name, we always start our letters at the top. Write what you know. I know how to write my whole name, so I'm going to start my letters at the top and write my whole name. Our directions tell us to trace the letter C. So you're going to stay on those train tracks and start at the top to trace that big curve. Big curve. And then down here, you get to try it on your own. You start your letters at the top. And you make that big curve, big curve, big curve, and keep on going. Fill it all the way up. Big curve, big curve, big curve, big curve. I filled up my whole line with my letter of the week, letter C. This direction tells us to color. I like to trace my big curve first, then fill it in. So trace, then color. So I make the big curve, and then I color it in. Try your very best to use your almost kindergarten coloring. I trace the big curve and color it in. Trace the big curve and color it in. Trace the big curve and color it in. Our directions next say find those big curved C's and circle them. So look closely for those big curves and circle. Circle that big curved C. Find all of the C's. At the bottom, this is your turn to listen for the k, k, k sound. And then if it says that k, k, k sound at the beginning of the word, you color the picture. Our first picture is of a k, k, cow. Do you hear the C sound that says k, k, cow? Yes, we do. It starts with a C, so we color in our cow. K, k, cow. And then we look at the next picture. It's a picture of a k, k, cat. Do you hear that C sound at the beginning of k, k, cat? I do too. So I color in my k, k, cat. And the last picture is a picture of a t, t, tractor. Do you hear the k, k sound at the beginning of t, t, tractor? No, you do not. I do not hear the k sound, so I do not color the tractor. You can leave it blank or you can cross it out, because we know it does not start with the letter C. After you finish your alphabet worksheet for letter C, you need to practice your letter C on your own in your story and picture journal. We already did our letter B for ball last week. Remember we did B for ball last week? This week we're going to start a new page. We will start a new page for our letter C. When you write your letter C, you will fill this first line with as many of those big curves as you can. At the top of that line, it's blue. That tells you to start your letters at the top. And then the red line tells you to stop. So make sure when you start your letter C, that big curve start at the top. All right, my friends. Big curve, big curve, big curve, big curve. Try to write as many big curved C's as you can. And then I stop. I filled up my whole line. I am an author. I'm writing the words and the letters in my book, but now I need to illustrate. So think in your brain. Think in your brain. Something you can draw that starts with a k, k, k sound. I am thinking of a k, k, cat because on my big curve sign I have a picture of a k, k, cat. And cat starts with C. So your next job as an illustrator is to draw your cat. And my cat's head is a shape that is called a circle. And then I have 2 triangle ears. I have 2 circle eyes. And then I have a nose. And of course, my kitty cat needs whiskers and maybe a cute little tongue smiling at you. There's my cat. Now, you are an author and an illustrator, so the author needs to write the word that matches the illustration or the picture. So we need to work together to write the word cat. And I know that it starts with our big curve because that's why we wrote and drew the cat. So I start at the top and I write C, big curve. And then in the middle of cat, we have an A. And you know how to write an A because we've been practicing. When you write an A, we start at the top and we write big line, little line across. And at the end of cat, I hear a T. So I'm going to write my T, and your friends and family who are around you can help you spell C-A-T, cat, if you are going to choose to illustrate with a cat. And my friends, when you're all done with your journal and story and picture book, you're all done practicing your letter of the week, letter C, that says k, k, k. I am so proud of you, my friends, and your hard work to illustrate and to be the author of your story journal. Kiss your brain for me. I'm so proud of you, and I will see you next time.